Welcome back everybody to Hayes Tech. Of course, this is the channel where we talk about pretty much anything tech, and I do mean anything tech related. And today is going to be one of those anything tech related kind of videos, and it's going to be a 2-year update on the Gibson J-45 Studio. And I made a video again a while back, my first video about 2 years ago, on the Studio, and explained the differences between a standard J-45 and the Studio. But basically, the only difference between the two guitars is the thickness of the body of the guitar, which I will get into in this video. I also wanted to say quickly that this video I am going to try to make as short as possible. And you guys know I don't strive to make short videos, but what I want to try to do in this video is cut out all the yak, all right? Basically, what I'm going to do is give you a super quick history, background, just to catch you up to speed if you didn't watch my first video on this. And then we're going to go right into playing the guitar. So, don't go away. Quickly, if you didn't watch my last video, the J-45 Studio is basically, it's out of Gibson's modern lineup, okay? They have several lineups, just like Martin does. In their modern lineup, they have what they refer to as the Studio. So it is basically a J-45 in every way, shape, and form, except if you look at the body of the guitar, right here, it is actually thinner than a standard J-45. Also, normally when you get a J-45, that guitar is going to come in mahogany. Now, that doesn't mean that there aren't Rosewood variants of that, the J-45 out there, because there are. Gibson made several Rosewood variants of the J-45, but for the most part, a mahogany back and side Sitka spruce top J-45 is the workhorse for Gibson. That's it. I mean, when you think of Gibson, you think of a slope shoulder dreadnought, mahogany back and sides, and spruce top. Rosewood fingerboard for Rosewood bridge, the whole 9 yards. Well, this guitar has all of that, except it has Rosewood. And in 2020, I think it was 2020, they decided instead of having the normal wood, they were going to make the Studio out of walnut. But they also gave you an option, and it's about a $300 more option, $300 or $400 to go with the Rosewood. And Noah did not want the walnut. Although I've heard the walnut variant of the J-45 Studio sounds pretty good. The ones I've heard sounded dang good, but they weren't mahogany. Mahogany has a distinct sound, and guys, splitting hairs is what it is. It's all in what you like, and there's no one that's better than any other one, all right? I prefer Rosewood. I love the sound of Rosewood, and if you ask me, well, what's the difference between Rosewood and mahogany? Again, everybody's going to have a different answer to that. To me, mahogany, and this is just my version of what I think it sounds like. To me, mahogany has a warmer sound. It's more mellow, even-toned, It goes with anything. Rosewood, on the other hand, to me, again, this is just me, has more high ends. It's brighter. It's loud. It has that sound I like. And again, it's hard for me to explain the difference in sound of Rosewood and mahogany. It's just in what you like. I mean, there's a lot of people out there that if it was up to them, they would have all their guitars built out of maple because they love the sound that maple produces. But back to the J-45 Studio. Again, quickly, it is Gibson's slope-shouldered dreadnought. It has a mahogany neck. It is a one-piece mahogany neck. It has Grover closed-back tuners on them, and they are super smooth tuners. I love these tuners. If you have a Gibson, the adjustable truss rod is adjusted up here on the top. It does not protrude down through the body like it does on a Martin. Rosewood fretboard, it has medium frets on it. They're definitely not jumbo, and they're not super thin. They're right in the middle. I like them. They're very comfortable. It has a rosewood bridge, and I'm going to be putting in some B-roll, some real close shots of this guitar. But I think Gibson did a beautiful job finishing this guitar, and it is nitrocellulose lacquer, okay? Now, the Gibson has a shorter neck length than what, of course, Epiphone has. That was another thing I wanted to mention. Martin and Gibson are both building guitars outside the United States for people who just can't afford, to go purchase one of their United States built guitars. And of course, Martin's is built down in Mexico, and a lot of people will say that's like Martin's Epiphone. Whereas Gibson, their guitars, their affordable guitars, in the early 1970s, what Gibson did was they said, you know what, we're going to take Epiphone and we're going to have that brand as our more affordable brand of guitar, and we're going to send all of the building of that guitar overseas. Again, the differences between the standard J-45 and the studio is just the thickness of the sidewall, okay? It's about a ½ inch thicker right here. And to me, I think this is a way more comfortable guitar to play. Just my opinion. What do you say we go ahead and let you guys hear what this guitar sounds like? So let's do that now. Alright, I'm just going to play through a few chords in that, and maybe a song. I'm going to let Noah do most of the playing. Again, stroke hand is not going to be able to do as good a job as Noah will do, but I'm going to give it my best shot. So G, D, A minor 7, C, E, B, and back to G. Okay, I hope everybody got something out of that. After 2 years, what can I say? I think Gibson hit a home run with the studio. I really do. Yeah, if you pick up just the standard J-45, I think you get a little more volume out of it. But to be honest with you, I really couldn't tell. And I was playing my Epiphone Texan right next to this, and they're basically the same guitars. And I know that my Texan is older, but I was just kind of looking for volume. You know, what's the difference between a full dreadnought and this as far as volume goes? And honestly, that thing, it's got the volume. But what's also nice is fingerstyle on this thing is great. Now, I've noticed I've been having a lot of difficulty lately holding a full-size dreadnought guitar. And this does make it easier for me to play, but I'm really thinking that I'm possibly going to get a more of a triple O size guitar. Again, just because of my handicaps. And I think I'm going to go with like a Martin style triple O, probably Recording King, because that's all I can afford. But hey, you know, that's what they're there for. They are outstanding guitars. There is a place for the studio. I really think that it makes for a good recording guitar. It makes for a great playing around the house guitar. And I don't see any reason why this wouldn't make a great stage guitar. Now, I will say, I'm going to hurry this up and get you guys out of here because I know you want to go. The video's been going way too long. But I know you always ask, is there something that you don't like about the guitar? And I'm going to say absolutely. Gibson went ahead and put in Fishman under saddle. I think it's called the Sonotone, but they put in a Fishman under saddle pickup in this guitar. And it's basically that little braided strip that goes underneath the saddle. I don't like microphones, you know, under saddle microphones in a guitar or pickups in an acoustic guitar. You know, the way I look at it is if you want your guitar amplified, get an electric guitar. The electric guitar was made for amplification, okay? And I honestly think, and again, guys, this is just my opinion, that once you plug an acoustic guitar in, you ruin it. Now, yeah, there are some pickups out there that are more passive, like the ones that glue right underneath the bridge plate. They're basically 3 brass dots that just glue right up to, they're basically microphones that glue right to the bridge plate. So they don't break that vibration path from the saddle into the bridge into the top of the guitar. But when you put a strip of wire between the saddle and the bridge, you've just muffled what's coming out of those strings and going into the top of that guitar. And I've heard a lot of professionals say the same thing. So that would be my only gripe I would have with this guitar. Now, I don't think it hurts the sound much. I love the sound of this guitar, but I think if this was my guitar, I would probably have that removed. And I would have, of course, removing it, you would have to get a new saddle made, one that fit a little bit tighter, and of course one that was a little taller. But that's it. Pretty much that's the only thing I don't like about the guitar. I love the tuners. Ooh, I didn't think I'd like those Grover kind of tuners because I'm a stickler for open back tuners. I love those tuners, but man, are them things smooth. Wow. Yeah, okay. All right, guys. You want to know what kind of strings we are running on that? They, of course, are Elixir 12 to 53, 12 to 50, 12 to 53, or 12 to 54. I'll put that in here somewhere to let you guys know. I just want to thank each and every one of you out there for watching my videos. I'm wearing 2 watches because I am testing this watch against this one. These are Android smart watches, and I've done a review on this one, and this one is coming next video, so be looking for that, okay? That's pretty much all I have. I want to thank each and every one of you for watching, and I will see you all on the next one.